Life.
Hey loves, I'm stopping by really quickly just to let you guys know about my new merchandise that I recently put out. You guys asked and I delivered. You can now pick up your Pick Me Nation t-shirts, you guys. I also have Winter is Here merchandise. And I also have Who You Want, Gotta Want You t-shirts as well. So make sure you go and support. It is the holiday times. Definitely go pick up a shirt or a mug for your mother, your fathers, your sisters, brothers, your husband, wife. Make sure you go and support. I have those shirts available now. What up, YouTube? It's your girl, Dee. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm back with another video for you guys. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you new footage of the ICE agent that was run over by this woman in Minnesota. Unfortunately, this lady was shot by that very same ICE agent due to this occurrence. Overall, this is unfortunate that it happened, but it did happen. Now, I want to play because I did see some footage of the incident, but it was conflicting. There was, one angle, then there was a different angle, and then I only saw one of the agents that was on the passenger side of the vehicle opening the door, but then we didn't realize that there was an agent in front of the vehicle, and that was the actual agent who actually, made the deadly shit. And I want to give my thoughts on this, but I want to go ahead and play this particular video that basically shed a lot more light on the situation than I can. And it just kind of puts everything into perspective, in my opinion. Now, this video clip comes from Nate the lawyer. Shout out to Nate the lawyer. He actually is a lawyer and he breaks down these cases and also gives you a lot of the law behind it. Shout out to him because he definitely did a good job with breaking this down and explaining to the public what actually happened from his point of view, but also provides the video proof of what he's talking about and shows it from different angles for people who are conflicted on what's the truth and what isn't the truth. But people are still going to, judge it the way they want to and see it the way they want to see it. There are some people who believe that this was not, he should not have shot this woman. There are some people who believe that she was in the wrong. Some people believe that he was in the wrong. So everybody is going to come to their own conclusion of what they think, but I'm definitely going to give you my opinion on it. And I definitely want to hear your thoughts and opinions on it as well. So we're going to go ahead and hop into the video. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. It is free to subscribe, share and like the video, and turn on your notification bell to be notified when I upload new content or go live. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Here we go.
In this footage taken by a bystander just before the we can see Good's maroon SUV partially blocking the street. Good's partner, seen here outside the car, and ICE officer Jonathan Ross are filming each other. You can see Good in the driver's seat, waving cars by while Ross begins walking around her SUV. Two more federal officers arrive in this gray truck and approach Good's vehicle while simultaneously speaking to her.
So, law enforcement officers with lights and sirens and in full uniform are ordering a motorist who's blocking traffic to get out of their vehicle.
Shit!
The whole encounter, from the moment an officer told Good to get out of her car to the third lasted just 7 seconds.
So now quickly, let's just break down what we just saw.
With the video slowed down, you can see one officer grabs the door handle as Good begins backing up the car. Officer Ross can now be seen filming with his left hand at the front of the car.
Now, initially, this is the guy who's at the driver's side that's the only person I saw at first. So I didn't see the other guy who he referred to as Officer Ross in the front. So I didn't know that there was a guy in the front. They were putting the videos out and I only saw the guy on the passenger side. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. The vehicle didn't even hit him. But then there was audio of the video when the guy was hit by the vehicle. You could hear him, make a noise as he fell. And that was the guy that was in the front. So initially, a lot of people probably saw the same video that I saw. You just saw the guy by the door. You're like, oh, wait a minute, this vehicle straight missed him. It wasn't him, but there was a guy in the front. Let's continue.
You can see the front wheel spin forward and Ross draws his gun with his right hand.
So now I want to point you to the front tire and where it's at. The officer's in front of the car and the tire is pointing at the officer. So now if you hit the accelerator, you're going to run right into the officer. And as you can see, the person in the car is hitting the accelerator. That's why the tires are spinning. As you can see, the officer has his gun out. The tires are still pointed directly at the officer and the car is moving forward. Now, at the last second, the tires turn away from the officer, but the officer is struck by the vehicle, which you cannot see from this angle. Now, here's a second angle from the front of the vehicle. So you can clearly see the officer is actually hit by the car.
Well, the slowdown version is showing me that when the SUV pulls forward, they make contact with the agent in the street, and then immediately following that contact, you hear 3 gunshots follow.
There are some people who are saying he should have gotten out the way, but then there are others who are saying she should have complied and gotten out of the car. They have the weapons, so I would like to think that you in your vehicle, you would just comply and get out of there. And it's, once again, I want to stress, it's unfortunate that this lady lost her life. I never like to see people lose their lives. And by the way, this lady, her name was Renee Good. Rest in peace to her. I think this was a senseless act. But we gotta look at the evidence. We gotta call it out for what it is. It's unfortunate she lost her life, but this could have completely been avoided if she had just listened to what they said. You know what I'm saying? And none of this would have been an issue. But the fact that she's in her car, you got to assume that if you're in your car and you are pressing on the gas, that this woman could speed up and potentially run this man over and he could lose his life. And he's out there doing his job. So when you think about it, he had to do what he had to do to protect himself. Some people say he shouldn't have done that. Well, she shouldn't have done what she did, because that only escalated it into what it actually became, in my opinion. I'm like, lady, if you have federal agents out here who are doing a job that has nothing to do with you, comply with what they're saying, do it the right way if you want to be out here protesting or whatever. But getting in your car, your vehicle is used as a weapon. So if you're turning your wheel to pressing the gas to look like, or even seem as if you're going to go forward and elevate, to escalate to potentially run this man over, that is a threat to that agent. He did what he did to protect himself. I don't see it any other way. And then, of course, then she turned. The car didn't run him completely over, but it did run up on his body frame to knock him down, which was enough. But before that, the shots had already went off, because when she, positioned to put her feet on the gas to come towards him, if she had kept that going and not turned and just ran, she could have ran him over, and he could have been the one, who lost his life. So, yeah, that was just crazy to me, but let's continue.
Expert has shown us the officer was being struck by the vehicle and returned fire while the vehicle was literally hitting him. Here it is in real time. So next, the officer was recording this incident on a cell phone. So now let's look at the incident from the officer's perspective.
Change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
So now here
Now that's the part that I heard and saw, and I'm like, wait a minute. And another question, and I just have to be honest. Why are they out here arguing with these people? Why? Whether you like it or not, it's not really your place to do that. I think peaceful protests are great, but when you're trying to do things like this, it just takes it to another level, in my opinion. Let's continue.
Wife is antagonizing the officer, asking him essentially, what are you going to do?
I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car.
So now they realize that ICE is about to arrest them for interfering in federal law enforcement activities. And the wife, who's standing outside filming, tries to jump back in the car.
Get out of the car.
So now what you're going to hear a lot in the media is that the officer placed himself in front of the car. But as you can see, that's not accurate, because while the officer was standing still, the car actually repositioned itself and pointed the front of the car directly at the officer. Now, as the officer was trying to move toward the driver's side of the vehicle to get from in front of the car, the person hits the gas, striking the officer. Now, simultaneously, while being struck by the car, the officer lets off 3 successive So now that you know the facts, now that you know the law, let's bring everything together so you can decide if this officer is justified or not. If we apply the Graham standards to the case at hand, was it now one call? Blocking traffic. Pretty light, right? Was the person resisting arrest? Yeah, the officers were trying to open up the car door to arrest her or detain her, and she resisted. She didn't stop the car and get out and talk to the officers. She was actively resisting. And then last, was she a serious threat to the officers or other members of the community? Well, to the officer standing in front of the car, the government's saying she was a serious threat. She hit the officer with the car. Where if you're on the other side of it, you're saying she wasn't a serious threat because she was trying to run away. The argument here is that this woman's case is more like Tennessee v. Gardner. The police essentially shot a fleeing felon. And the government is saying, no, she was a serious threat to that officer, and he responded with deadly physical force.
Yeah, now I would have to agree with that, because her vehicle was a threat to to him. You know, if she had pressed forward right into him, that she could have him. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't see the reason why she was doing it. If they had not been blocking the traffic and not doing what they were doing, they could have went on and it wouldn't have been an issue. But the fact that they're sitting there arguing with these agents is beyond me. And so I don't know if they thought that nothing would happen. Probably didn't think that this would happen, and it's unfortunate. But I think when you have a group of people who think that they're above the law and nothing applies to them, they make these type of moves. Because I'm gonna just have to say it. If it was a black person out there and they told me to get out of the car, you know you got to get out of the car, because you just probably would have got shit. I'm just saying, you can't really make too many sudden moves or do too much or disagree with any type of agents, police, or anybody, because you know they'll you. But when it comes to these people, you know, you think nothing's going to happen. And in this case, unfortunately, it did. And, you know, like I said, it's unfortunate this lady lost her life, because I think this didn't have to happen. But I do agree that he was protecting himself from her vehicle, because she could have run him over and hurt him, seriously injured him, or him. And he did what he needed to do to protect himself. You know what I'm saying? And if she was trying to get out the way, she could have backed up enough and then made her turn without it even touching him. You know what I'm saying? And for people who are saying why he could have moved, well, she could have not done what she did. You know what I mean? They're doing a job. They're asking you, ordering you out of the vehicle. She didn't want to get out. And she just decided to take it upon herself to do what she did. And it unfortunately cost her life. And I think it's sad. But I think this should be a teachable moment. And I've seen multiple videos of people out here protesting and trying to block the agents' cars and putting things in the way and just doing a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing. You know, that I just thought was just crazy, insane to me that people are out here doing this. And you know, they just think they could get away with it. I just think you just gotta, you know, stop behaving in that way. That's all I'm saying. Let's continue.
If you're on a jury, you're going to have to ask yourself, was that officer standing in front of the vehicle, was that a serious threat to that officer? When she hit the gas, car's going forward, and the officer's hit by the vehicle. And remember, the officer's shooting as the car is hitting him, so it's happening all at the same time. Split second. Now, this is where the media spin comes in, because on the left side of the political aisle, they're only showing you one video, this one.
Right. That's what I saw. Yep.
Now, Glenn, that's one angle. There are obviously other angles that are floating around the internet right now, but I think all of them generally show roughly the same thing, which is that there is an ICE agent right at the corner of the vehicle, that the person in the vehicle was attempting to turn the wheel so that they could flee the scene, and of course the ICE agent used that as the opportunity to and ultimately the person who was in the vehicle.
Now, just to show you how deceptive that was, he knows there are other angles. He knows there are other videos, and he says that none of them are going to make a difference. But obviously, he's totally lying, because I think this video...
Yeah, it shows the difference. Facts.
makes a big difference in the way you analyze what happened.
Yeah.
So now you know the law, you know the facts, and it's going to be up to people like you to determine if this officer is going to go to jail for or some type of homicide charge, or if this was a justified because his life was in danger. Was he being reasonable, or was this criminal?
Listen, shout out to Nate the lawyer for this amazing video. I think the officer was being reasonable. And like I said, it's unfortunate that this woman lost her life, because I just think that was a senseless way to lose your life. I don't think that, personally, I wouldn't have wanted her to be in the head, and she was in the head. I do think that he was protecting himself. I do think that he was doing what was necessary to protect himself. I really do. And and I just but once again, it's not like it's something that I'm happy to see. No, that lady lost her life, and it's unfortunate. And I just think that it doesn't have to be that way. But yeah, I definitely think he was defending himself, because she could have clearly run him over, and then it would have been a different story. And there was no reason for it. Now they're saying the ICE officer who was involved in this, the one who actually fatally Renee Good, that he was previously dragged by a car during an immigration enforcement operation in June. DHS spokeswoman Tricia McLaughlin said during the June incident, ICE officers in Minneapolis attempted to arrest Roberto Carlos Munoz, Guatemala, during a traffic stop. He was in the country illegally, DHS said in a news release, and was previously arrested for domestic assault and convicted of sex crimes against an underage teenager. When the man refused to comply, the officer broke his car window and reached inside, getting his arm stuck. According to court documents, when the man attempted to drive away, dragged the officer, which was captured on video. They're saying the officer suffered multiple lacerations and needed 33 stitches to close his wounds, according to court documents from the June incident, which identified the agent as Jonathan Ross. NBC News reached out to DHS requesting comment from Ross. McLaughlin responded with a statement saying that DHS would not expose the name of this officer, noting that he acted according to his training and has more than 10 years of experience as an ICE deportation officer. So this happened to him before. So you gotta consider that, hey, this is his job, and he knows that it could be difficult and it's very dangerous. That in this situation here, he was heightened alert because he was dragged before. So you got to take all of that into consideration. I definitely think he acted in self-defense, and unfortunately this lady lost her life. But I don't think you should be out here playing with these agents. You let them do their jobs, and you could protest peacefully, and then and all will be fine. That's just my thoughts. If these agents are asking you to move or do something, just comply and keep on with your day. That's just my thoughts, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. What do you think about the videos that was displayed in this particular video? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What's your thoughts on it? Do you think he was at fault? Do you think she was at fault? What's your thoughts? I definitely want to hear what you have to say. So comment, like, subscribe, y'all. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
DeeDeesReactions.